Yo. Welcome to another episode of Reasonable Wrestling. This is the Most High Chris, and I'm here with my tag team partner, CT.
What's good, guys? Oh my God. What's good, guys? Sorry,
I've
had a long week.
It's going to be a long one already. Well, before, speaking of you having a long week, let's, in all seriousness, let's take a second to say thank you for being here, man. This week was a long week, health-wise for you. Not going too deep into CT's personal, but he was sick enough to put him in the hospital for 3 days. And
I was in the hospital from Thursday till 2 days ago.
Yeah, so for 5 days.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Yeah, so he had a little bit of a health scare, so it's good. And he still made it out to help me a little bit at MLW yesterday to take some flicks. MLW had a taping in that Guilt nightclub. We are tape. Yeah, still made it out. So he's a soldier.
Great. Yeah.
So we're here another week. And
wrestling is life.
Yeah, wrestling is life. So with that being said, now let's go ahead and jump into let's go right into the show like we do every week with our high spot. CT, I'll let you go ahead and take the reins and tell everybody what's going on with your high spot.
All right, my high spot of the week. My high spot of the week was NXT, the main event of NXT this week, the NXT Tag Team title match. I think that, goodness gracious, the work of Undisputed Era and Mustache Mountain.
They work very well together.
The work is just so good. Kyle O'Reilly, man, amazing. Mustache Mountain, amazing. Roderick Strong. And they played the heels, like the Undisputed Era, Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly played the heels perfectly. I can't say words today. Perfectly,
folks. This will be again a long show.
Yes, they played the heels perfectly. They right out the bat, they want their titles back. They come in swinging. Just fist flying, catching Mustache Mountain off guard. For real, like the match started. And
it started off hot. It was
hot.
Listen, it was a hot It was a pay-per-view. It was a hot main event. The crowd made the match. The psychology of the match was fantastic. Go ahead, finish. Go ahead.
No. But you're right. It started off hot. I think that was great for what we saw at the UK tournament. It was more of a structured match that they won, and it was still a great match at the UK tournament. But now with this match, it was more of a brawl from the jump, and Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong bring that fire. They didn't work. They were constantly doing double teams on the.
It was fantastic. That's fantastic.
And I'm going to wrap it up. It was just a fantastic match, which they worked. What's his name?
Trent
Seven's leg. So the whole match, and he sold that shit, man. He sold it. So I actually had sympathy for the guy. Like, I'm watching it as a grown man, 30 years old, actually having sympathy for a scripted match to the point where when I watch NXT, I say it all the time. When I watch NXT, I feel like I'm watching wrestling when I was a kid. Like, I'm invested. I want to see the good guys win. I want to see the bad guys lose, kind of thing. And so the match ended with Tyler Bate throwing the towel in, which I thought was a fantastic way to end the match. Like, that was unique. I haven't seen a guy throwing a towel since Bret Hart and Bob Backlund back in 96, 95. 94 even. Good God. So that's the last time I saw a towel being thrown in as an ending. And I completely forgot about that ending of a match. I forgot they can use that still in modern day.
It was a good ending, but it was a good match with a good outside the box ending that they wanted to give off. But the psychology of it, what necessarily didn't. Tyler Bate could have just saved his partner. He could have just came in the ring, broke up the hold. He didn't have to throw in the. I get it. Listen.
His guy was going through pain, man, and they're the faces, and they're good English blokes who are not gonna cheat. And the ref had already admonished them about getting in the ring, hey, don't come back into the ring.
Your name is British Strong Style, right? So you're not a pushover.
They're a Mustache Mountain with
they have British Strong Style on their jacket. That's their moniker.
Okay,
you know what I mean? That's the title that they take hold of. I think it if it's a babyface in peril as a singles competitor, and that outside presence is like a manager or a valet throws in the towel, like we said to Bob Backlund and Bret Hart. I think the Mama Hart. I don't know her name. I'm sorry.
I think her name is Martha.
Helen. It's Helen.
Helen. I don't know.
Helen Hart.
I think all mothers are Martha.
Yeah, it's Helen Hart. But if if it was an outside person throwing it, not your tag team partner, and not in a tag team championship match where you surrender, like let's think of the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn match where the ref waved it off. You know what I mean? Now I can see if the ref kept saying that Trent couldn't make the tag, and then he's just like, you know what, I'm going to call it.
Yeah, it gets a little iffy with
and that's me
a tag team match. I hear you. It's a little nitpicky, but with the tag team match, it gets... because they have that extra guy that can come in for the save.
Exactly.
So it's a little bit different than a single match where somebody can come in and, just say, okay, somebody needs to stop this, and nobody's there to stop it. There should have been... Trent Seven maybe save. It's logically, but I think the towel being thrown in shows a layer of character to the team and how much he cares for his teammates to see. Like, listen, it's not worth seeing you hurt because he knows his partner's not gonna tag. He knows his partner's not gonna tap. It's not worth seeing you lose your leg for our title belts. So I think that was a layer of character building with those two guys.
And as a fan, shout out to my cousin Rich. He told me that I should allow you to be you. So I'm not gonna poo-poo everything that you said.
Okay, no. If you feel like I'm wilding out, tell me.
I don't think you're wilding out. I do. Listen, this is me being cynical. You know what I mean? Like, this is me picking apart, unnecessarily. Welcome to our Friday. We're recording on a Friday. Usually we record on Thursday. But we have Bacardi and rum poured up. We have a blunt in rotation. And we're talking wrestling.
Here we go. So what about your high spot?
My high spot was Shinsuke and AJ. And not so much of the match. It's just of the storytelling. You know what I mean? This is like their 1,017th match in the past 2 weeks.
For a match that like all the fans crave to see at WrestleMania. We're like, oh my God, it's gonna be a dream match. They really ran this shit to the ground.
For people,
Chris almost burned his face off with his blood. He almost burnt his motherfucking face off with his blunt.
And that's something we will not edit out.
Okay.
Goodness gracious.
My goddamn.
Yo,
okay.
Man. All right. Yeah, so Shinsuke and AJ.
This beer, we're going to be on fire.
Yeah,
watch.
Jesus Christ.
Be careful.
Let me pass this thing. Shinsuke and AJ, as far as what I was seeing as far as the storytelling of that segment, they allowed AJ to be the bumping babyface, which he's necessarily going to be against Rusev, which is why I'm excited for that match.
Can't wait to see it.
Like, it's good. Like, the dynamic, like, he bumped so much for Brock. And the thing about it is,
Roman.
Listen, Brock doesn't work the way Rusev works. Rusev is going to like get after it. You know what I mean?
He's gonna hustle. He's gonna put more.
And this is his first singles championship.
He's ready.
Oh my god,
he is ready.
Like, yo, so I'm marking out for this. This is me not being as logical as I should be.
This being his first,
but this is being his first single champion title match. Like that's a big.
That's pretty much the story of their feud. Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry,
there
guys.
it is. It's good. There's some sherbet.
Oh my goodness.
So
this is really the story of the feud. Honestly, is that Rusev's first match. That's why I wasn't very much intrigued by their writing this week of that. Because to me, it's like, okay, give me another layer. Then okay, it's Rusev's first singles title match.
No, that is the most awesomest base layer you can use for professional.
Two ways.
But listen, it's at the end of the day, what are we watching? Professional wrestling.
But okay.
No. I'm not shushing you this time.
All right. No. One thing I gotta say though, if they actually said and made it like a little bit more poignant, or like Rusev comes out like, this is my first singles title match. I mark my words. I'm coming to fight and kill somebody.
I understand. Okay,
if they made it more compelling.
Yes, yeah, I understand.
And I'm gonna win. Like, I'm not gonna let this this opportunity, go to waste. And he actually emphasizes that on screen. Then I'm like, all right, I can buy into this guy's emotion and what he's facing, come Sunday.
I can get that.
They didn't do that. They brought Shinsuke and then he just interrupted the match. Give me a layer. Give me deeper writing. Give me deeper something to attach my emotion to with these guys rather than they're just going to fight for the belt.
I can get that, especially when we're making that investment. But I also actually look at that same thing with Kane and Daniel Bryan. Never mind, we're not getting it. They're not even on our run sheet. They're not even. We're not.
But Kane and Daniel Bryan, man, this week,
no,
I think they had something. You may not like it, but people dig it. People dig their dynamic. They're funny. Put it that way. Come on, the instinct jokes. You don't like that?
No. Anyway, so with the storytelling that they have for AJ, and they allow Shinsuke actually to be, since the heel turn, he hasn't really gotten that off pause. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so with him being a heel and putting AJ, like, he was in control. It was about 60-40 that match. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I liked it. It was one of their better matches.
It was one of their better matches. And then Rusev having, like, yes, Rusev needs to be the definitive heel. Now, granted, he's over.
Mm-hmm. As a face,
but...
he's just over it. So
he's just over, but that's the reason why I said the dynamic can work as far as it just having the baseline. Like, because why do we love AJ? Because he's just a great performer. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, he doesn't have any layer. He's one of the best wrestlers in the world. You know what I mean? What is Rusev? Rusev with, like, one of the best wrestlers on the roster. So the best, that basic storyline of, like, and
I
Rusev,
feel you, but it doesn't resonate with me who wants a little bit more in terms of writing, personally. I feel like I want to see the match because I know, like, how they can work. But as a guy who's going to watch the show and invest my time to see, what's going to happen next week with these two guys. They didn't do that for me in this feud. They didn't make me feel like, all right, I want to see this feud progress.
You just want to see the match.
I just want to see the match. And if you're not a wrestling fan, like a deep, hardcore wrestling fan, you don't even know these guys. So what's going to make a guy who's not watching it for, the moves in the ring, for the story, the guy who's watching it for a story, like, people who turn the channel and they see this, what's going to make them say, okay, I'm going to keep watching this because the story is going somewhere where I didn't know it was going to go.
Okay,
I want to see what happens next week.
We can really break that down. Did we ever get why the Bludgeon Brothers attacked Daniel Bryan?
That's another writing flaw, though.
But the writing flaw that led to a nostalgic act that's at best 50-50. Okay, we'll do it. We'll do a 60-40.
No. I'm not
we'll
even
do
saying.
60. We'll do a 60-40.
You're right.
Way.
I think that it was a shock, and in that aspect where I feel like, okay, I get why they're going to go this way, but.
And I also heard.
I hear you. It could have been written better.
I heard a take on take, and we might as well just weave it in here now since I don't know how we get on Team Hell No. Like
I know, right?
Like we get on Roman.
They're not even in the run. Not even in the run sheet.
But so I was listening to In This Corner podcast, which I listen to you guys. I love you, Brian Campbell. Well, no, I don't. I like you guys, Brian Campbell and Adam Silverstein. So I was listening to their podcast, and they had an idea. They spitballed as far as business and logic goes, and we can interweave both of these together and dip back into our other business logic segment. But they were saying that the reason why Daniel Bryan is in his placeholder is because his contract does end in September.
That's true.
So it's like a dangling of the carrot, per se, saying like, hey,
you want to have these matches?
You got to resign. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you want us to push you, we got to resign.
Exactly.
So it makes a lot of sense.
It does make sense as far as that writing, you know what I mean? And who's to say that Brian looks at like, yo, AJ, you got what, a year and a half left? You got what, 2 years left?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let me do a year on that. You know what I mean? Like, because that indie run is the Revolution has never been this popular for Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, to go in to make that loop. You know what I mean? Like him and Naito, him and Okada, him and Kenny. Him and like Punk will come out of retirement, for that. I'm pretty sure. Like that's drawing power, So, and ROH and New Japan got approved for MSG show.
Oh shit! They got approved because I heard that WWE blocked that
They
shit.
blocked the first one, but they ended up getting a show. That's big news. So I think that's in like
that is big news. There's never been a show in MSG outside of WWE.
Outside of WWE.
They had that shit on lock in terms of wrestling. Nobody's been in Madison Square Garden.
See, but that's the thing too. So they had this.
It's like their home.
And we're veering off. We'll get back into the show in a little bit, but All In was projected to be 10,000, and I haven't heard that number yet.
I heard they sold out.
They sold out, but I haven't.
But it heard 10,000.
Yeah,
okay.
I haven't heard
so
the 10,000.
how big was the venue?
Exactly.
Okay, I hear you.
You know what I mean? So if you're doing MSG, bro, like, are you putting 20,000 people in the seat?
But All In is not. It's not ROH. It's not ROH. It's something completely different.
All In is, but it's still a combination of Ring of Honor and New Japan talent. But I get it if it had the backing of New Japan and Ring of Honor money. Yeah. I can see. I don't know.
It's really just Cody's vision, and I really don't know who invested in it, but
it's Cody and the Bucks did the All In thing.
Yeah, so it's Cody and the Bucks putting this thing together. I'm not sure who invested in it, but I don't think that's a ROH product per se. I think that they have ROH competitors that are going to be on the show, and they've agreed to, like, all right, we can defend this title here if you guys get this show. We get like a cut maybe.
Well,
I don't.
We'll see. I mean, it's definitely great for business. I mean, looking at when we talked about it a couple weeks back, when we talked about the $1 billion contract, wrestling is marketable. That's what I mean. Like, that's all we can say. Two legit media companies, television media companies, gave.
So it's over $1 billion. So it's like they're getting over $2 billion on two different channels.
Yeah. 2
different networks. So the money's there. The money's there in the industry. It's crazy how much money is in the industry. It's crazy. So you just want to get that little bit of check to a little couple thousand and trickle down to us, maybe.
Maybe a little bit. Let's see what's going on with that WWE. Holla at us.
Yeah.
So since we did get off a little bit, let's hop back into our best written for the week.
That was a tangent.
It was a wild one. Yeah. What was your best written for the week?
Best written, I'm gonna go with Tommaso Ciampa, Aleister Black, and Gargano. The way they're written on NXT, I think it's been flawless. I think to get people to be invested in these characters, continuing that blood feud of Tommaso and Gargano, interweaving it with Tommaso's now facing Aleister in 2 weeks for the championship. I think it was written very well. You had Aleister walking in the hallways, coming outside to do a promo. They booked it as if he's supposed to be showing up next week. So he's showing up, he's walking, and then Gargano stops him, and he just talks to him. He's like, yo, Tommaso cannot be champion. He cannot beat you. And Aleister's like, listen, I know you got this vendetta, but you do you. I'm going to do me. All right, peace. And Gargano's like, you don't understand, man. I'm going to do me. So Aleister walks away, and he's going to come out, and Tommaso just jumps him. Aleister doesn't make it out. Tommaso just jumps him and leaves him there. So he hits him with the same thing he ended the match with Gargano within the Extreme Rules match. Was it Extreme Rules or Chicago Street Fight match? It was the DDT off of elevated thing into hard concrete surface, and he took him out. So, yeah, I think they're just interweaving 2 feuds great. Like, it's just spot on.
I can the storyline is drawn out.
Which one?
All of them, nigga.
How was it drawn out?
Like
Aleister and Tommaso just started.
I know, but I feel like I don't know. Maybe I should just be... No. Maybe I should.
We're still waiting for that.
I should just watch it. We're
still waiting for Gargano and to be crowned NXT champion. So this is how you get there, man. You got to make him a main event player. You got to put him in.
What do you mean? The main event scene. Main event player? Johnny has been main event in the past.
I know you got to make him in the realm of the champion. So he has to be in those segments regardless.
But that's why I said to me it doesn't. I'm blah on it because once Johnny disbanded him in New Orleans, that's where he should have been at, and I get it. Tommaso took him out, and Tommaso then put himself in Johnny's place, and that's how they interweaved the storyline. But I felt like then
he's like, yo, Johnny's done. I took him out.
But
now I'm on to better things.
But then that's the thing. Then Johnny should have been done. Johnny shouldn't have been on.
But Tommaso thinks he's done. That's what it is.
No. This is what I'm saying. Let's just rewind everything. What I'm saying. Once he takes Johnny out, there should be no Extreme Rules match in Chicago. It should be Tommaso and Alistair.
Right away.
Yes, nigga. Like, because they
wanted the Lars match.
I get it. I get it. But then what essentially happened? Lars got his fucking jaw broken.
Well, they couldn't plan for that shit. That's not their fault.
But what I'm saying is so if
they're stretching it out, they had to stretch it out.
But what I'm saying is, my thing is, if Lars didn't get hurt, where would Lars be? Would he get his rematch? Would they have been extending that?
Who knows where he would be?
But that's my point. An injury got Lars out the way I feel like it fast tracked the Tommaso Ciampa Johnny Gargano interweaving of the storyline. When Tommaso should have just started the feud with Alistair
after he lost in New Orleans.
What I'm saying is what I said is he took Johnny out because he did take Johnny out.
No, that's after Chicago.
He took Johnny out after New Orleans to set up the street fight in Chicago.
Gargano beat him in New Orleans.
Let me light my blunt.
Are you saying they should have just went from New Orleans to Tommaso and skipped Lars?
After Tommaso lost to New Orleans, Johnny should have went and challenged Aleister Black for the championship, which he tried to do at NXT. Tommaso Ciampa took him out. Johnny should have been written off TV, and it should have been Tommaso and Aleister. It should have been not Aleister and Lars. Should have been since
and then put Lars where?
Who gives a fuck? I don't care. What I'm talking about, my storyline is what I'm talking about is Tommaso, Johnny, and Aleister. I don't care about Lars Sullivan. Mm-hmm. Once New Orleans happens, once we crown Aleister Black, his first challenger should not have been Lars Sullivan, is what I'm saying. His first challenger should have been it should have been
Tommaso.
It should have been Johnny,
okay,
and then it should have been Tommaso.
I don't know about that because then you have Brooklyn, which is their main big show, and it's
but Tommaso's took the bout off of Aleister by then as well. Okay. That's the storyline. Right. This is what we haven't because we're at this roadblock with you right here.
Right.
But Aleister gets the belt taken because Aleister doesn't need to have the championship. Then we have Tommaso and Johnny at SummerSlam instead of having this 3-way at SummerSlam, which is what we're gonna get. That's where I'm at.
You gotta say that though. You didn't say that. You didn't say that Tommaso beats Aleister for the belt in that process. I mean, that's the story to tell too, but I'm really just curious to see where this goes. So that's my best written. What's yours?
My best written is KO and Braun. I just
what? KO and Braun.
It was just the segment, their Monday night segment. It was just the comedy. KO in particular, not so much KO and Braun.
KO's always good. KO's always phenomenal. With everything, almost everything he's given, he does his best with it.
He does, but
so I'm just saying the way it's written is just I don't know.
Well, the way it was,
Braun is a bully.
Yeah. Can I get to my point?
All right, go ahead.
Christ Almighty!
I'm sorry to just torpedo that best written. Go ahead.
You don't even. My best written is the KO segment of the comedy.
So you should just said KO's your best written instead of KO Braun because that feud is not written well.
The feud is.
Sorry.
The KO segment revolving Braun Strowman because he's hiding from Braun Strowman was written fucking well. What are you talking about? That whole comedy segment of KO in Kurt Angle's office hiding from Braun because Braun can't do shit to me in here was written well, and then Braun walking into the office and saying, "I smell fear," and spraying like that.
But you're looking at it in that one segment. I got you, but I think
because that's my best written of the week, nigga.
I got you.
We do weekly. What are you doing?
But I thought you meant the feud as it is, because that's how I think of best written.
The week of, we do a weekly podcast. And we review the week of. What was your best produced of the week? What was your best written of the week? What was your high spot of the week? My best written was the KO and Braun segment.
But overall, their arc is not well written.
I mean, the arc is just, for the most part, is they don't. For one. They have too much talent that they kind of don't know what to do with, or incompetent writers. Sorry, WWE. You have incompetent writers. Sorry, Dewey. I love you, Dewey. Your sister is hot.
Was that necessary?
No, it wasn't. But no, sorry, no man.
All right, go on.
What I'm saying is they have too much talent that they seem like they don't know how to write everything.
Yeah,
and the knock on Vince Russo was that he gave everybody a story. Well, that's kind of what you need right now. Everybody needs a story. So I'm not saying that this story arc is written well, but when you have Braun Strowman, quote unquote, being, who cares if Braun is being a bully and being projected as a bully? He's not Nia Jax. He's not at these Be a Star gimmicks. So who cares if he's a bully? And at the same time, is Kevin Owens has a reputation of being what? A bully. So it's the bully finally game. It's this, like, we watched The Simpsons, right? Who's the bully that does the whatever? You know what I mean?
I watched Simpsons actually, but I know what you're talking about.
Well,
yeah.
You know what I mean? We've all seen a bully.
So you want to see him get his?
Well, it's a bully. I mean, it's when you're talking about writing a story, it's a story that's easily told of a bully getting bullied by a bigger bully.
I don't like it. Yeah. It could be still written better. Like, if you want to tell that story, if you gotta show it.
You're telling me I don't like it, and a 50-year-old fucking mayor of Knoxville, Tennessee, came out in a mask and a wig to wrestle, and that was written. Oh, what the fuck ever. Next segment, worst written. My worst written is the KO and Braun segment. I mean, the KO and Braun feud. I mean, because Christ almighty, you wouldn't let me get to any of my points before just shooting shit out the sky. Goddamn Yosemite Sam.
Damn.
My worst written total is the KO and Braun segment. Or feud, I mean, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah, my bad.
When I told you guys it was gonna be a long show, I didn't lie to you.
So
I feel like Dave right now. I feel like the truth.
His best and worst written are KO and Braun. So I got you.
My best written for the segment of the week was that KO segment. My worst written of the story arc is the KO and Braun, because it doesn't give me anything. Like, they don't give me anything as far as a story being told behind it. But at the end of the day, it's almost like Rusev AJ-esque, where you're just like, it's two good workers, let me see. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to give them some time. Granted, it doesn't have a title behind it or anything like that. And the story's not juicy, but I mean, they have 13 matches on this fucking card.
Yeah, it's a lot.
You know, And granted, if you're not gonna, I would not be mad if you didn't give me KO and Braun, but
in a cage match.
But if you're gonna stack these many matches that I'm about, I would rather see two good workers go.
I hear you.
You know what I mean?
I hear you.
So what's your worst written?
My worst written is pretty much any Mexican on a roster. Any Mexican.
Bro.
Any Mexican.
Hold on, let's clear
any
this.
Mexican wrestler on a roster is written poorly.
Okay, Thank you.
I'm
glad
my
we
worst
reworded
written.
that.
Every Mexican wrestler on the show was written poorly. In my opinion, they are the worst. Are you guys really gonna have this Lucha House Party shit go down on 205 Live and to get these guys over? It's unbelievable. I mean, I didn't even want to start with that, but
okay. Well,
then you have Andrade who hasn't been on TV for God knows how long.
Okay.
And then you put him in this feud.
Let's
give us no build up and then just throw it on SmackDown.
I'm gonna let you finish. But we gotta restart how you just drove off, okay?
All right.
You're like a reckless teenager in the car for the first time, and it was like a drive jerk, right?
All right.
When you said my word, I hate all Mexicans.
I didn't say I hate all Mexicans.
No.
What's going on here? I didn't say I hate all Mexicans. This guy's a liar. I never said that. I said my worst rating of the week was any Mexican on the roster.
Okay.
Any Mexican on the roster was written poorly. What's wrong about that?
Oh man!
I never said I hate all Mexicans, guys.
Oh man, that's
guys,
funny.
Yo.
No, he didn't do that. That's
don't lie on me like this.
Oh man. Oh,
it's just bad, man. Anybody, man, who they can't put a Mexican guy from Lucha Libre style from Mexico and write him in any way other than Alberto Del Rio. I think has never. They've never given them shine. Berto and Eddie, maybe. They were just guys who they gave good things to eventually. You know? Berto's off jump. They wrote him in to storylines that were deep and had continuity. I think Kalisto could be over like a Ray if you gave him better shit, you know? I mean, 205 Live can be a really damn good show, but they just miss on so many things.
I mean, again, this is why we have our Booking Black segments, you know? They don't always know how to do things well. You know what I mean?
When it comes to minorities.
They just, with most majority companies, they're owned and ran by white people with the perception of what they think it is. Yeah. So when those guys come out with piñatas and it's a Mexican house
making
party
noise during the match, he's like I don't even know what the hell you call those things. And it's like, come on, how is this going to be?
But when it comes to Andrade's and Cien, Cien was hurt from what I understand. So that's why they kept
still,
having to feed him jobbers and had to feed Andrade's
But they started it
like
and then just forgot about it for mad long and then put it on SmackDown suddenly. It's like you didn't give us a follow-up into the match at all. You just put the match on after not talking about it for God knows how many weeks. I think it was 2 months off TV. What are you doing with Andrade? For real. I don't mind having that feud. I just don't mind just the way they did it. I mean, you can't give us something but the weeks between of him and Sin Cara doing something.
Well, I mean, depending on if Sin Cara had to get touched up, whatever it does, nigga, we had Kurt Angle in the Shield, nigga. Okay, stuff happens.
I got you.
You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, Roman Reigns is off TV for 4 weeks because Adderall. You know, so
yeah. No, I feel like shit happens, but yeah, I just wish they were written better.
Allegedly.
There's no excuse for the Lucha House Party though. There's no excuse for that on 205 Live. I don't know what your target market is and what you're trying to get by putting these guys out there like that. They're not going to be captivating. There's a gimmick, a real bad gimmick.
What were we on? Worst produced?
Yeah, worst
written?
Worst written, yeah. So you did KO Braun, I did the, any Mexican on the roster thing. So
we're going right
best
to our best produced?
All right, let's go to our best produced.
Go ahead and do your best produced.
It was a really tough week on production. There's nothing that really stuck out to me. But if I had to go with one thing, it would have to be the break apart brawl done in the main event. I mean, in the opening of Raw. My bad. Opposite. So the opening of Raw started with, I think they had a segment where I think Bobby was like, yo, just talking shit to Roman. And then Roman went out and called him out right off the bat. Like, all right, I'm sick of this shit. I don't think we've seen him touch until this moment. And they're like, yo, let's you guys want to talk? You want to talk shit all this time? Let's come out here and fight. So we're finally seeing Bobby and Roman connect for the first time right before they lead into the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. They do a pull-apart brawl all the time. We know it's overused and in the WWE, but every now and then it's cool to have one. And then the dive with Roman made it a little bit different.
No, it did not. Roman literally does the dive every time it's a pull-apart brawl. He did it with Brock.
Did he?
Yeah, that's why I'm not interested. That's why when you said this is going to be my best produced, I said,
I mean, I started with like there was
it.
nothing that really grabbed me, but one thing, the way they did it, would, I thought it was good. But if he does that every single time, then maybe they could have done it differently.
Roman Reigns literally does the Undertaker leap. He's the...
Well,
that's it.
That's good. We need somebody to do it.
No. It's over. I mean, luchas do tumbles. He does tumbles.
Undertaker can't do that now. Undertaker can't. So you got somebody to do it.
Well, that's like I said. Everyone has a preference, and if that was yours, then I personally don't care for pull apart brawls.
So what's your best produce? Oh, you want to keep talking about that?
No. They're just obsolete, especially for two. And then it makes your roster look weak.
Got you.
It makes your roster.
Yeah, you see Finn Balor out there trying to pull them apart.
I mean, how does a whole roster can't hold two guys apart unless the venom to fight is so good? And if that's the case, it needs to be a blood feud. It's not a blood feud.
Got you.
So,
got you.
I guess that weaves into the written part, not the produced part, but still, like just seeing top guys come out there like Finn and new who else is like it's. Don't send your top guys out, with Seth out. Seth was out, you know what I mean? Like,
no, Seth wasn't out. Finn Balor was out there.
Seth wasn't even out there.
Yeah, I don't think Seth was out there, but Finn Balor was. And I was like, oh, snap! So he's one of the pull apart guys, huh? Yeah, so, as you guys who know, you know.
If you're a pull apart guy, then you're there.
You're there. That's where you're at.
Yeah.
You go out to help.
Yeah, you help pull apart. So. Yeah. My best producer was Miz TV. Anything Miz touches is kind of pretty much good because he's good. That Miz TV segment where he just, even when he stumbles, like he's a professional out there. Like that moment's not too big for him because he's been there for 10 years.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. So, that was a good segment. The Miz puts it together awesome, man. He puts it together just. Everything he does, he's on fire. He's been on fire for a while now. So
so as far as production goes, I'm sorry, my worst producer is that that's the reason why I brought up the worst produced segment. The worst produced segment is because the boom mic dropped into. That's why I brought it up. Okay. And the reason why that came to my mind into the shot of the KO and Braun when the boom mic dropped into it, and I was like, that's it. All right. But what made me think about that is just how crisp and pristine like the Miz stuff is always shot. You know what I mean? Like he's always shot well. You know what I mean? Even his backstage segments was shot well. And as far as speaking of being shot well, Nia getting some heat on Alexa by breaking the kendo stick. That was just a good moment for her in a monstrous. Yeah,
I think Nia is hitting a new layer with her character, just in the way she's portraying her portrayal when she's out in the ring. Just you buy it. Alexa. Yeah, exactly. But you buy her as a force that's to be reckoned with when she's out there, especially the past couple months. I think she's written well. I think she's performing well.
Okay,
yeah,
yes.
not written well. I think that she's performing well. That's what I mean.
There we are. But yeah, Miz was my best produced. Just watch Miz TV. Just watch how like his presence on the mic, his presence in the ring. He tenses the animosity with Daniel Bryan, and he's still a chicken shit. You know what I mean? Like he works well.
The whole segment was good because it led to the 5-man, but he was interviewing.
He was interviewing Team Hell No.
Sanity. I think he was interviewing.
No, he was in Team Hell No.
Team Hell No. Oh yeah, and then we saw that, and then the Brooklyn Brothers come out. They are about to fight. Sanity comes out. They fight. The New Day come to save. It's like it's just chaos, especially with the sanity thing, because I think they should be guys who just come to fight and just are causing chaos for no reason. So I appreciated that because they've been, like I said in the past, they've not been getting the best treatment, but I think they're getting it right, recorrecting with this group. And then New Day come up for the stage, so I set up this 5-on-5 10-man tag, which is, if you're gonna go with a 10-man tag, that's a good way to do it. But
I hate 10-man tags. I don't
right.
hate them, but they're just...
If they're not Survivor Series or something like that, it's a little bit...
Exactly. I mean, and I get it. It's a go-home show as well. You got to get everybody on the card. Mm-hmm. It's a connecting two feud, so... Mm-hmm. And they're in the tag team division, so
you got to get them there. Yeah.
But as far as... Once Miz left the ring, the segment ended for me because I knew it was so once Miz set up and I knew it was done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
but it got Miz viewable on TV because he's good at talking. It was a good segment. Miz is awesome.
So
he just is.
Yeah,
it's true.
So it's easier, and being de facto or pseudo producer for a wrestling company and having someone that is just natural, you know what I mean? That's easy produced. It's just it works. Yeah. It works well. You know what I mean? Because if you're easy to be directed, or we don't have to give you much direction, and it can be shot well, then it can be edited well, then it can be presented well. Like,
also,
everything is just
Miz set up a dynamic with Miz and Dan Bryan for future. So we have more of them interacting without getting that match yet. So. I'm liking that. I hope they get a SummerSlam match.
So going forward,
let's go to worst produced. You said it was a boom mic. Was your worst produced this week, right? Falling into that segment. Which one was the KO versus KO talking to Kurt Angle?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said a boom mic was his worst produced earlier. So yeah, you gotta make sure that doesn't happen. You can't on live TV. I know things happen, but yeah, that's a bummer. My worst produced personally is just the Cedric Alexander versus Hideo Itami match on 205 Live. 205 Live just let me down altogether this week because after the 205 Live match with Buddy Murphy and Mustafa Ali last week, I was like, all right, I'm ready to watch more 205 Live and see how it is. And it let me down. The Cedric versus Hideo Itami match, it was just not what I expected. So many rest holds, and his strikes, rest holds. The ending was anticlimactic. But, Cedric won, and he's keeping it. So Cedric is this guy who just calls people out and beats them. So he asked for that match, so I don't know where they're going with that. So it just kind of was my worst produced, at least for the match, per se.
I don't really have... It was bad. Ah, shoot. It was a bad plotty match. It was stiff, but it wasn't Cedric and Ibushi.
Yeah. And I'm waiting for that.
I had Cedric and Ibushi.
I mean, it's a hard. Yeah, it's a hard thing to get.
Kenta can go.
But yeah, I know that. But that kind of atmosphere and that match. You're not gonna get there every time you go out.
They gave him time.
They did give him time.
So,
you're right.
It's no excuse.
They gave him time. But I haven't seen, even though I liked his Mustafa Ali match at WrestleMania, I haven't seen that Cedric with the Bushi yet. That was something else. But you can't have that match every single time. It's just that was a moment. So that was my worst produced. Going off into this week's Business and Logic. We want to talk about Lesnar appearing on UFC first. We got two for you this week, a twofer. I thought I had none going into the show, and I was like, wait a minute. I got two ideas for Business and Logic this week. Lesnar on UFC, what do you think about that? Because I told you this week I had a couple issues with that.
Well, just go ahead and go.
Well, I personally think that, it's your main guy right now. Raw is suffering already because it has no title. There's no purpose on the show. Then you have Lesnar on UFC, and I don't know. I think that he's going to do what he wants. He has that clout. But I think he should have had the title, purposely just to show that, hey, you have a guy who, is coming back into UFC after being WWE, so they get more looks. Like, oh yeah, that's right, Lesnar is a wrestler, WWE wrestler for UFC fans. That crossover. I'm not sure if you can force a guy like Lesnar to bring the title, to the ring and whatnot. But I'm not saying he should came in with the cage, but maybe you see him put it down and then come into the cage afterwards. Not hold up his title or something like that, but like have it with him. We see that he's the WWE champion, and I thought that was an opportunity, missed opportunity at least, if they're gonna go with that whole thing and let him do that.
It's not
because it was definitely staged.
It's not a missed opportunity when you're still talking about WWE's Brock Lesnar. So you don't have to carry that big ass, ugly ass red belt everywhere you go, especially not to it. It was. Listen, did you see that pristine suit that Brock had on? Right, that three-piece, double, triple-breasted suit, custom made because he's a Frankenstein-made monster.
It was nice suit.
He's not wearing that ugly ass title with that.
Listen, man, he cut a WWE promo in a UFC ring.
No, that's not WWE.
Dude,
promo, you can't say motherfucker on WWE.
Yeah, I know, but like the whole thing was staged. They were cutting promos. Those two guys were cutting promos.
Okay, you don't need a title. Who cares? Everybody cuts
promos. But I'm not saying he should cut a promo. You have to have a title to cut a promo. My point is that, he is a wrestler, and they did a wrestling angle on a UFC show.
He's not a wrestler.
At least get that rub.
Listen, first of all, he's not. Listen, let's
come on. That whole thing on UFC was not something that just they staged that.
CT,
that's a performance.
Who cares? Who cares about the title when at the end of the day, when that article is written, it still has WWE on there. It doesn't need.
I'm talking about the visual, man. I'm talking about the visual of him seeing the belt.
Again, the visual of that red.
Not everybody reads articles.
The visual of that ugly red.
I don't care what they think. People think it's ugly.
It's that's what I'm saying. You're talking about the image.
I don't care if people think it's ugly. I want it to be seen. Period.
Again,
he's WWE Universal Champion.
He's not a WWE. He's not. First of all, it's not a WWE sponsored event. So why am I? It's not a WWE sponsored event. Is that a paid appearance? Is Vince getting some money off of this appearance? Is my championship getting? Is this?
I think it should be there. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If they can make that happen, I'm not sure if they said no, you can't bring the belt, but I know shit goes down behind the scenes. But I think it should have been there. Maybe I'm too much of a mark. You want to call me whatever, but business. I think it was business opportunity. If you want to talk business and logic.
I mean, logic wise, again, it's a UFC thing, so. It's not UFC. It's not WWE. This is what I'm trying to get you to understand. That Brock Lesnar you saw wasn't WWE superstar Brock Lesnar. What you saw was UFC former heavyweight champion, legit shoot fighter, presenting that I am off of suspension soon. I'm your next challenger. That wasn't anything corporate.
I'm not saying that the angle should be premised around the title or have him front and center.
But again,
I'm saying it should have been there.
But that's what I'm saying. Brock Lesnar, again, we're talking about logic-wise, business-wise. When you're talking about WWE got paid, you're getting double dipping, getting paid from Universal and getting paid from Fox. Guess what Brock is doing? He's getting paid from UFC and WWE. He can pick and choose when he wants to show up and choose what he wants to tote around his luggage when he shows up there.
I feel you.
Because he's that drawing power on both sides. So when you're saying that, and what's the?
I know that, but
just think about business for you. Think about the business for Dana White. Think about the business of Dana White having a fictitious championship title on his legit $4 billion profitable business on his biggest night. That doesn't make any sense business-wise on his end. And what if Brock Lesnar goes in there and beat the shit out of Daniel Cormier? How beneficial is that going to be for his legitimate champions going forward?
Maybe they blocked it, and that's why I said if there's something happened behind the scenes, I get it, But that's all. I thought it was an opportunity. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think that. I don't.
You don't think it's feasible?
I don't. Not even feasible. I didn't. I took Brock Lesnar WWE out of it. That the crossover appeal works only when it's WWE stuff. That I was in UFC realm right there. I watched live Brock Lesnar fight Randy Couture, and I know it was an old Randy Couture, but that's still like shoot. And I didn't think I was going to see suplexes or F5s.
They need to take the fucking title off
like
him
that.
now. Then they need to take the title off him, I think.
No, because it's still, when you're talking about business, that's, again, it's printed on ESPN letterhead without the image. It's still WWE champion, former UFC heavyweight champion, gets in the ring after Daniel Cormier wins title. Vince still gets that free promotion without having the title there, that if or isn't seen matters. Because what still matters is the drawing power of Brock for his next appearance for a WWE event, not the visual of a title per se.
All right, man.
I mean, I'm just it's not saying you're wrong saying that the image should have been there, but when you're talking about that being on ESPN, like what is the story?
If the belt was on ESPN, it's not about the story. It's about just being seen by people that don't watch WWE. That's what I'm saying.
Well, but that again, it's not about the belt at that time. It's about the superstar Brock Lesnar. That's the draw. Oh, Brock Lesnar still wrestles.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I get what you're saying about having a championship, but if
it's like he wrestles and he's the champion right now, okay. It's like WWE champ versus UFC champ. I'm not saying book it that way.
How overtly fake is that then?
I mean,
how overtly
it was fake anyways though. Like shit. Like,
no, it's a legit fight when them niggas get in the ring.
But it was a scripted fucking segment.
No,
they didn't script that.
If you take the WWE,
oh Lord,
what I'm saying is, CT, everything is wrestling, but everything isn't wrestling. So
that wasn't like a organic. I'm gonna call out Brock Lesnar and him.
No, that was because listen,
they knew.
Dana betted on Daniel losing because Steve was the longest reigning heavyweight champion in UFC. That's the storyline. The storyline that Dana wanted was he had a legit heavyweight that was a legit heavyweight champion that Brock Lesnar then could have fought. Now the story writes itself that you have Daniel Cormier, a legit wrestling fan, a 2-time, weight champion who's in a realm that's not really his. He's not a heavyweight.
Yeah.
He's a light heavyweight champion.
Yeah, when he pushed him, I was like, God damn, he's a lot bigger. It's crazy. I didn't know he was that much bigger.
So, but now if you're looking at it totality, you're like, man, now, story-wise, but Daniel's 40. Daniel's not wrestling after this. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. This legit was a shoot fight, and Brock was supposed to come out and call out the guy who lost. And that was supposed to be the promo. Now it's like just well, from what I would like, what I mean, like because again, like the disparity, but the like Brock is 285, 290, like he's 6'3", 6'4". Cormier's 5'10", 235, and looks out of shape.
I'll watch it though. I'll watch a bear maul somebody. Like I'll watch it.
So But listen, I get what you're saying as far as the imagery goes. Mm-hmm. You should know a little thing about imagery as you missed a ton being a photographer last night.
Nah. I told you, I'm a novice in photography. So don't even bring that up. I'm still working on that.
Next thing you wanted to talk about business logic was something I haven't heard about.
One more thing, giving you a 2 for this week. There is talks of, I heard there's talks of there's being a women's pay-per-view or all women's pay-per-view this year, before the end of the year. Kind of making up for the lack of them on Greatest Royal Rumble for societal reasons and between them in Saudi Arabia, and they don't want it to have women presented in that fashion. So they might be making that up with the all-women pay-per-view this year for just the women, and they get to get their bag too. And I'm looking forward to it. Like I really would like to see that. I'm not sure how you think. Showcasing the females
again. Like I said, it goes back to the argument that we had a couple weeks ago when we talked about having a tag team. Like they just have. If you're gonna give me a pay-per-view, you gotta give me matches that matter. You
Yeah.
gotta give me something that I like. If you're giving me
Exactly.
an all-women's pay-per-view, like it's like
Don't just throw the matches together.
like right
tell
now,
us
like this pay-per-view is Extreme Rules, and we have one match that's Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like, give me something. You know what I mean? Like it's. So
I think that
I'm not opposed to it.
with the women on all pay-per-view, all women's pay-per-view,
all women's pay-per-view with the talent that they
without
have,
jostling and competing with the guys for time. Like, give me Charlotte and Becky with some time. Give me Sasha and Bayley with some time.
No,
hell,
good.
even Asuka, Naomi. I would love to see that with time. With them getting some time to actually work in the ring and show what they got.
I want Sasha and Bayley to go against the guys just so they can
throw a tag team match in there with the freaking Iconics and fucking Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Like, just, it'll be a dope thing. All women. I would watch it, I'm saying. A lot of people are shitting on it, making jokes, but I would watch it.
Well, I'll watch it. I mean, I'll watch it. I don't have anything. I think as far as business-wise, it would do good. I don't think anything would be negatively,
It's a new era, I think that it's a perfect time to see, especially I'm curious to see how it will do on the network. Like, how many people are actually going to tune in. I want to see how it's going to work because it's been an evolution. It's been a revolution with women in WWE. So I think they can go, and I think this is time to see something like that. It's a perfect time to test it out.
With that, we're gonna go ahead and we haven't done too many preview shows. This would be our second preview show ever, I believe. So we're gonna go ahead and do a quick run through. We don't really like to do prediction podcast radio show thingy, whatever, but we'll do it anyway because why not? We're a podcast, everybody.
For real, yeah.
So they have the card right here. We got Almas and Sin Cara. I'm pretty sure it's on the pre-show, so they'll give that time. Almas is gonna win, right? Mm-hmm. All right. The next match is New Day versus Sanity in a tables match. Sanity is probably gonna go over in a little
I feel like they're gonna go over.
I'm kind of bored with New Day, so yeah.
New Day. I think this is a good spot for them right now. New Day, they need, like I told you, you guys missed it because that episode a couple weeks ago where we had technical difficulties, we talked about a New Day Bucking Black segment, and we just talked about where do they go after Kofi losing at Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank, yeah.
We were talking about that, and where does Big E go possibly after this? Because we want to see him in the main event or singles run at least. And we did a whole segment, but we'll talk about them down the road. Promise you. Maybe we might do a character spotlight. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, might do
New
a
Day
character spotlight. I think they might be next. They might be next after the Miz.
We got a couple to get to, and then
next up they got on the card Alexa Bliss and Nia. It's an Extreme Rules match.
Alexa's winning this some way somehow.
She's gonna Nia's gonna jump on that.
Nikki might go through a table. I don't know. Hopefully.
Like we said, women have to just be booked better. I know Nia's gonna take some punishment. I know Alexa's gonna take some punishment. I haven't seen Alexa take punishment. Oh man, let's get off that. AJ and Rusev is next. I know AJ's gonna keep the title. If they swerve me and give it to Rusev, I may I'm a pop.
Yeah. So I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I don't see it. So I'm
especially with WWE 2K19.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right.
AJ Styles is a cover athlete. They're not taking the title off him for a while. They will let the game be close to release, and then
business and logic.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So looking at it that way, and
Rusev gets that clout. He
finally gets on a championship level match, and so when we see him further down
the line, it makes sense. It's like, he's been here before.
Next up, we have Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy versus the B team of Bo and Curtis.
I ain't got anything to say about this.
I don't know.
It's so bad. We haven't talked any tag division for like a couple weeks now.
Does it matter?
Because it's so bad.
Okay, does the B team win or no?
No, I wouldn't give it to them.
Okay, so the B team doesn't win.
Maybe they do, but
what does Bray and them do for SummerSlam?
I think that they put him against AOP. That's what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah, put him AOP at SummerSlam. Have AOP go over and get the belts, or maybe Dash and Dawson, one of those two teams at SummerSlam.
All right. Next up, they got Asuka and Carmella. Ellsworth will be in a shark cage because they haven't sold too many of those toys enough.
Yeah, you gotta make it relevant. Don't care about the shark cage, never do. But I see
Asuka. I want Asuka to win.
I see Asuka winning too.
Okay.
And what kind of match is this?
It's just a singles match, but Ellsworth is just gonna be in the cage. So.
Oh yeah.
Unless he does the Enzo and fucking escapes down.
Yeah.
All right. Next we have Bludgeon Brothers versus Team No No. Bludgeon Brothers win.
Yeah, they have to go over.
West on Hidden Walk Drive.
All right. Next up, we got Dolph and Seth in a 30-minute Iron Man match for the IC title.
This is hard for me. I think I can see it going either way, but I'm gonna go with Dolph.
I think Dolph is going to keep the title as well too.
And I'm looking forward to this match, man. I cannot wait.
I mean, we got a half hour on Raw a couple weeks ago, so.
But it's an Iron Man match.
Listen, I get it.
Iron Man matches are dope, man.
I'm with you on this. So, my favorite match of the night that I'm looking forward to is next up, which is Bobby and Roman.
Mm-hmm.
I got Bobby.
Wow. Okay.
Just because he's black.
Okay. Bobby and Roman. I don't know which one this one's gonna go either. I can see it going either way. If Bobby loses to Roman, it depends who's gonna face Brock. And I see Roman going over, man. I just see them going over Roman somehow.
Okay. Next up is Jeff Hardy versus Shinsuke.
Shinsuke got to get it this time, man.
Yeah, Shinsuke. I hope Shinsuke gets it. We got Finn versus the Constable, Baron Corbin.
Oh God.
I mean, they don't care about Finn, so I'm pretty sure Baron's gonna win somehow.
No, Finn gotta win this. This is just something for him to do.
I think Baron's gonna win.
No, they can't. Where's Baron going? Like
he's
Yeah, where is he going? He's not going anywhere. Yeah. Finn Balor.
He's tiny. That's why Finn is losing. He's tiny. And then Braun and Kevin Owens. They have. I hope this is not the main event.
Cage match is not gonna be the main event. No, the main event's gonna be Roman and Bobby probably. Oh wait, no.
No, the main event should be the title.
Should be AJ.
AJ and Rusev.
Rusev, yeah, but it's not going to be. It's not. You know it's not gonna be.
So the cage match isn't last, and
it's the only title on the whole brand right now. So it should be the main event, but they never do it. Stupid.
I got Mr. Monster in the Bank winning.
Yeah. I see Braun winning.
And let's
keep him strong.
Let's finally get KO.
But if he did lose Kevin Owens, I would be hyped.
I mean, it hurts Braun nothing because he has the contract, so he can lose.
That's true, man. They might go Kevin. Who knows?
I think Braun's gonna win anyway.
Cage match? Kevin might win from him throwing him through the cage or something like that.
I mean, if they do that, then Roman's really gonna be mad if they.
For real,
nigga, I should be champion.
Yeah, for real, that is.
All right, so that's the card, right?
That's it.
So we'll be watching Extreme Rules. So make sure you guys watch Extreme Rules on.
You might record that
Network.
day.
Like what? Like do a live what?
Just for I'm not saying we'll see.
We'll see because it's going to be 4 hours of wrestling. We do have to work on Monday.
That's true.
And Vince is not paying us yet. So you may get this recap, nigga, on Thursday.
We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah. But we'll see. Make sure you watch Extreme Rules on WWE Network Sunday. Pre-show starts at 7. Follow us on Twitter, RW Podcast 1. You can catch us on SoundCloud and YouTube. Search Reasonable Wrestling. We should be there. And we'll catch you guys next week, man. Thank you guys for checking us out.
Yeah, peace out, guys.
All right.
Was you finished now?
Yeah.
How long was that? Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys did that really good.
Yeah. finishing each other's sentences, you got the America.
Little arguments.
Little arguments. Oh man.
Well, that's good that you like. I wasn't sure like how you guys would just like be able to just like go like for a whole full hour just talking because I would be nervous. I'd be like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I was.
yeah,
Like,
I'm not
he was
sure.
pretty much a natural.
I'm not sure that it would be able to flow like
He
that.
was pretty much a natural. I had a couple episodes before I got my voice, you know, and just gotten just like be comfortable. Whatever happens kind of thing. So I finally found it, and now I'm like more comfortable. I was really nervous. I felt like I had to be something because it's media. So you see media and like, all right, this is how they want to present it. But now, like you said, like authenticity is just the way to go, and that's how things catch on because it's different and just authentic.
Yeah, it's good. Like you seem like sort of like the straight man, sort of like the sensible like storylines. Like I just want to see people fight.
Yeah.
I don't care what the story is.
Yo, she picks it up real
Right.
quick. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it's like. Yeah.
Like my favorite segment was this segment. They was funny,
Yeah.
and then there was a fight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much that's what
I
we
was
go with.
amused,
You was amused?
and then there was some fights.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll
we
break it
have
down.
we have our brother moments.
Yes,
where,
I made a little notes in my little notebook. I
So
can,
you seen the magic?
So I can watch. So I can make sure that I make a note to watch you guys and listen to you guys.
we try to do it
So is
weekly.
it like on Thursdays?
We usually we definitely have to post tonight.
Yeah.
So, are we running through this or are we just gonna throw it up? You wanna?
No, I gotta edit this.
You
one.
gotta hear
There's a
it.
couple of things. There was like a long gap before I got to business and logic. At least I gotta hear this one.
Okay.
And there were some times when you guys kind of got off into a tangent. I was like, oh, you can tell you hi.
Yeah.
That's what adds
People are gonna
to.
love that.
That's what adds to.
Yeah, it's a bit long. Not for as long as the tangent's gonna go on for too long. Because it's like if I'm not high,
Yeah.
And I always.
if you high too, then it's like okay.
And I'm always.
Good night.
Yeah.
And I'm always-
We're both high. It's like.
And I'm always
You gotta go
conscious
on.
too. I
But if the
try to
listener is
be.
not high.
Yeah, exactly. They're not high. So.
But they're not high and not saying anything. They're
Yeah, that's
high,
true.
You know?
So and I always try to be conscious. Like if we are on a tangent, like we got on a really long tangent early in Business and Logic talking about New Japan, but it kind of tied in. Like we got into a Daniel Bryan thing, which was but. We was like, all right, we're no on a tangent. Let's go back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But you guys do a good job of
We
bringing
always-
things full circle though, because you know it's like you think that you're off on a tangent, and then it's like, oh, I see how this tied back. It ties into what they said like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So you do bring it back around.
Yeah, we try at least. You know. We don't want visa.
I hate you. No, you're not recording today, nigga. Not today. He needs an advance for us to record.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
So he doesn't participate in
Not in wrestling. Nah, he's got to catch up on anime today. He's anime. So
I think he was